Women's boxing has been an arena where strength, skill, and determination shine, but it has also seen some of the most devastating knockouts in the sport's history. From powerful punches to flawless techniques, these women have shown that they can deliver knockout blows with the same intensity as their male counterparts. The KO Queen is a title reserved for those who have earned it through sheer dominance in the ring, displaying the ability to end a fight with a single, powerful strike. This phenomenon is not just a matter of physical strength, but a combination of skill, timing, and strategy that separates the greats from the rest. Throughout history, there have been many women who have carved their names into the boxing record books with their knockout victories. These women have been celebrated for their ability to bring their opponents to their knees with precision and power. Some of these knockouts have been so stunning that they've become legendary in the sport, turning the women who delivered them into icons. From the early pioneers of women's boxing to the present day, these knockout artists have left an indelible mark on the sport, proving that women's boxing is just as thrilling and intense as any other form of combat sport. One of the first names that come to mind when discussing devastating knockouts in women's boxing history is Laila Ali, the daughter of the legendary Muhammad Ali. Laila Ali was a force to be reckoned with in the ring, with a boxing style that mixed grace and ferocity. Her knockout power was unmatched, and she delivered some of the most memorable knockouts in women's boxing history. Her ability to dominate her opponents was so impressive that she remains one of the most recognized names in the sport today. One of her most memorable knockouts came against the undefeated Christy Martin in 2003, where Ali demonstrated her devastating power, dropping Martin in the fourth round and securing a TKO victory. Another name that stands out is Claressa Shields, who is often hailed as one of the greatest female boxers of all time. Shields has an impressive resume, having won 2 Olympic gold medals and becoming the undisputed middleweight champion. However, what sets her apart is her knockout power. Shields has delivered some incredible knockouts throughout her career, showing that she is not only a technical fighter, but also someone who can end a fight with a single punch. Her ability to combine speed, accuracy, and raw power has made her one of the most feared knockout artists in the sport today. In the world of women's boxing, one cannot overlook the devastating impact of knockout artists like Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. These 2 women have revolutionized women's boxing, bringing it into the mainstream with their explosive performances. While both have built their careers on skill and strategy, they have also shown that they are more than capable of delivering a knockout blow when the opportunity presents itself. In their historic 2022 fight, which was dubbed as one of the greatest women's boxing matches ever, Taylor and Serrano showcased their incredible power and heart, leaving fans in awe of their abilities. Although the fight went the distance, their ability to land hard shots showed just how dangerous these women are in the ring. The knockout ability in women's boxing is not just about power, but about precision and timing. Many fighters have displayed the ability to land a punch at the right moment, catching their opponent off guard and sending them crashing to the canvas. These moments are what elevate a fighter to the status of KO Queen, and they are often remembered for the perfect execution of a punch that ends the fight in an instant. One such knockout was delivered by Cecilia Brækhus, the former undisputed welterweight champion. Known for her technical prowess and impeccable footwork, Brækhus was a fighter who could control the pace of a fight and land devastating punches when needed. Her knockout of Mia St. John in 2009 was one of the most impressive moments in her career, showcasing her ability to end a fight with a well-placed punch. Brækhus' clean technique and ability to dictate the flow of a fight made her one of the most feared women in boxing, and her knockouts were a testament to her skill. Another unforgettable knockout came from the Australian slugger, Holly Holm. While Holm is perhaps most famous for her shocking victory over Ronda Rousey in the UFC, her boxing career was equally as impressive. Holm had a string of knockout victories in her boxing career, and her ability to deliver precise and powerful punches made her a standout in the sport. One of her most memorable knockouts came against the talented and tough Mary McGee in 2006, where Holm delivered a powerful right hook that sent McGee to the canvas in the 7th round, securing a dramatic victory. Women's boxing continues to evolve, and with it, the knockout artists who continue to push the boundaries of what is possible in the sport. With new stars like Ava Brodnicka and Delphine Persoon coming to the forefront, the landscape of women's boxing remains as exciting as ever. These fighters possess the same hunger and determination as the greats before them, and they are constantly looking to add their names to the list of legendary knockout artists. The KO Queen is more than just a title. It represents the apex of a fighter's ability to dominate in the ring with power, precision, and skill. It takes a combination of raw talent and years of hard work to reach this level, and only a select few women have managed to earn this title through their devastating knockouts. These fighters have changed the way we look at women's boxing, showing the world that women can pack just as much punch as their male counterparts. Their knockouts have become the stuff of legend, and they have inspired a new generation of female fighters to reach for greatness. In conclusion, the KO Queen is a title that represents the very best of what women's boxing has to offer. From the early pioneers of the sport to the modern-day champions, women have shown that they have the power, skill, and heart to deliver some of the most devastating knockouts in boxing history. These women have proven that the ring is no place for the faint of heart, and their knockouts will be remembered for generations to come. As women's boxing continues to grow and evolve, we can expect to see even more memorable knockouts from the fighters who are striving to become the next KO Queen. As the sport of women's boxing continues to grow in popularity and recognition, the stories of these knockout queens are becoming more prominent. Women like Natasha Jonas, who has made a significant impact in the junior welterweight division, and Jessica McCaskill, known for her aggressive fighting style and ability to land heavy punches, are continuing to build legacies based on their knockout abilities. These women are proving that knockout punches are not just a male-dominated feature of boxing. They're showing the world that women can pack a punch that sends shockwaves through the ring, creating moments that fans and fighters alike won't soon forget. Natasha Jonas' journey to becoming one of the top female boxers today involved incredible perseverance and determination, especially after an early loss in the amateur ranks. Her knockout victory over the tough fighter, Katie Taylor, in their first bout, stunned the boxing world. Jonas proved that women's boxing could be just as brutal and competitive as men's boxing. In addition to her well-honed boxing technique, Jonas demonstrated the strength and power required to achieve knockout victories, helping elevate the standard for future generations of female fighters. Jessica McCaskill is another knockout artist in the women's boxing world who deserves mention. She is known for her aggressive approach to the sport, often coming out of the gates with intense pressure and relentless attack. McCaskill's breakthrough moment came in 2018 when she knocked out the highly regarded Katie Taylor. Her hard punches and unyielding determination in the ring led to an unforgettable night for boxing fans. McCaskill's knockout wins have turned her into a feared fighter, earning her a reputation as someone who will stop at nothing to make her opponent feel the power of her punches. The KO Queen title is not just about the big names in the sport, but also about the fighters who have consistently been able to showcase the speed and strength to deliver knockouts on a regular basis. Fighters such as Wolf, the former world champion from the United States, who is famous for her brutal knockout of Vonda Ward in 2004, has cemented her place in boxing history as one of the hardest-hitting women to ever enter the ring. And Wolf was known for her explosive knockout power and for ending fights with precision and violence that often left her opponents unable to continue. Her knockout over Ward remains one of the most talked about moments in women's boxing to this day, serving as a reminder that knockout queens often possess a mixture of raw force and calculated precision. One of the most remarkable aspects of women's boxing is the diversity of styles among knockout artists. Some rely on brutal power, while others blend technique and power to deliver perfectly timed strikes. Fighters like Christy Martin, who was one of the first women to break through the sport's barriers, often relied on a combination of fierce power and swift combinations to outclass her opponents. Martin, with her ability to deliver punches from all angles, set the stage for the next generation of knockout artists, pushing the boundaries for what women in boxing could achieve. Her fight against Deirdre Gogarty in 1996, which ended in a thrilling knockout victory, was a defining moment in her career and in the history of women's boxing. Another aspect of knockout artistry in women's boxing is the strategic mindset that many of these fighters bring to the ring. In addition to physical strength, it takes a keen sense of strategy to know when to strike, how to create openings, and how to control the pace of a fight to set up the perfect knockout. Amanda Serrano, for example, has developed her knockout punch over time by meticulously studying her opponents and exploiting their weaknesses. Serrano, who holds multiple world titles across different weight classes, has delivered some unforgettable knockouts. Her bout with Erica Cruz, which was a display of brutal and calculated punches, showed that Serrano's knockout artistry is not just about power, but also about intelligence and ring awareness. One of the most exciting developments in women's boxing is the increasing frequency with which knockouts are becoming a defining feature of the sport. A few years ago, women's boxing was often seen as a more technical and less powerful sport in comparison to men's boxing. However, this is rapidly changing. Fighters like Savannah Marshall, who knocked out Hannah Rankin in their 2020 encounter, are showing that the power women bring into the ring is nothing short of remarkable. Marshall, whose knockout power has become one of her trademarks, is part of the new wave of fighters who are ensuring that women's boxing is regarded as a thrilling spectacle filled with knockout potential. As the sport evolves, the presence of knockout artists ensures that fans will never be short of excitement. In addition to the rising stars, seasoned champions like Amanda Nunes and Michaela Mayer have also shown incredible promise in the knockout department, combining technical expertise with power and speed. Nunes, who transitioned from an MMA background into boxing, is known for her ferocity in the ring. Her knockout of Germaine Randami is a perfect example of the incredible power she can generate in her punches. Mayer, on the other hand, has built her career on a blend of intelligence, timing, and ferocity. Her recent bouts, including a fight where she knocked out Maiva Hamadish, solidified her status as one of the rising knockout queens of the sport. The role of knockouts in women's boxing is undeniable. They have become a critical aspect of the sport, and the women who deliver them do so with a combination of raw power, technique, and mental fortitude. Their performances leave lasting impressions and captivate audiences around the world. For many fans, the most exciting moments in boxing are the knockout punches that end a fight in an instant. Women's boxing, once overlooked, is now showing that it can deliver some of the most thrilling and electrifying knockouts in the sport. In this context, the KO Queen is a symbol of excellence, representing not just the knockout artist's ability to bring their opponent to the canvas, but their journey of breaking barriers, overcoming adversity, and inspiring the next generation of female fighters. These knockout artists continue to inspire young girls everywhere to pursue their dreams and to believe that they too can become queens of the ring. Whether through a single punch or a series of blows, these women have proven that when it comes to power, precision, and skill, women in boxing are more than capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with their male counterparts. The increasing visibility and success of women in boxing has created a new wave of excitement in the sport, particularly when it comes to knockouts. Women's boxing is now recognized for the incredible talent and raw power that many fighters bring to the ring. The athletes who have achieved legendary knockout status are not just talented, they're redefining what it means to be a knockout artist in the sport of boxing. When we talk about knockout queens in women's boxing, it's essential to acknowledge that knockouts are a blend of multiple elements. Timing, accuracy, and power come together to create moments of sheer brilliance that have the ability to shock, awe, and inspire. Some fighters are known for their one-punch power, capable of ending a fight with a single strike, while others use a combination of relentless pressure and well-executed technique to set up the perfect knockout blow. In recent years, the sport has seen a rise in high-profile women boxers who have delivered jaw-dropping knockouts. These fighters have changed the perception of women's boxing and shown the world that women can deliver the same kind of excitement as men's boxing. Among these modern knockout queens, one name stands out: Candy Wyatt, a fighter known for her ability to use both speed and power to execute perfectly timed knockouts. Wyatt's explosive style has made her a fan favorite, and she's quickly becoming known for her devastating left hook, which has been the finishing blow in several of her fights. Her knockout over former world champion Tori Nelson in 2020 left boxing fans in awe and showed that Wyatt's future in the sport would undoubtedly include more powerful finishes. But it's not just the new wave of women's boxing stars who are making a name for themselves. The veterans of the sport who have spent years developing their craft also have stories of electrifying knockouts. Lucia Ridgker, often regarded as one of the best female boxers of all time, is a name that comes up in nearly every conversation about knockout queens. Known for her deadly punching power and technical precision, Ridgker's knockout victories are the stuff of legend. In particular, her victory over Holly Holm in 2005, where Ridgker stunned the crowd with a brutal knockout that ended the fight in the second round, is one of the most iconic moments in women's boxing history. Ridgker's ability to deliver devastating strikes at any given moment made her one of the hardest hitters to ever lace up gloves. The KO Queen title is also tied to fighters who have maintained exceptional knockout ratios throughout their careers, often building their reputation on consistent and calculated aggression. Yvonne Reese, for example, has spent years climbing the ranks and consistently proving that her punches could dismantle even the toughest competitors. Her knockout of Janine Garside in 2014 was a defining moment in her career and established her as a rising star in the world of female boxing. In addition to the individual power and technique, there's an emotional and psychological element that contributes to the knockout artist's mystique. Some fighters thrive under pressure, and their ability to deliver a knockout under such circumstances is part of what makes them legendary. Ronda Rousey, while primarily known for her accomplishments in mixed martial arts, made her presence felt in the boxing world with her devastating judo throws and strikes. Rousey's move into the world of boxing has been closely watched, and many fans are eager to see how she might transfer her MMA knockout power into the ring. Her athleticism and mental toughness are undeniable, and her determination to rise above adversity would undoubtedly play a part in any future knockouts she might deliver in the sport. Noni Tenge, a fighter from South Africa, is another name that has left an impression on boxing fans worldwide. Her knockout of Nicole Boss was a testament to her skill and power, as she dominated her opponent with relentless aggression and technical precision. Tenge's ability to switch styles and adapt to the moment has made her a dangerous knockout artist in the ring. In some cases, knockout artists have become known for their ability to deliver violent finishes in rematches or high-stakes bouts. One example of this is the fierce rivalry between Christy Martin and Deirdre Gogarty in the mid-1990s. Martin was known for her ability to end fights early with her knockout punches, and her rivalry with Gogarty brought out the best of her punching power. In their rematch, Martin demonstrated that she could not only survive a brutal fight but also deliver a knockout when it mattered most, cementing her place in the history books. Many of these fighters were pioneers who changed the landscape of women's boxing and helped bring more attention to the sport. These trailblazers fought against the stigma that women could not be as tough or powerful as their male counterparts, and their knockouts are part of the reason why women's boxing has evolved into what it is today. The world began to see that women could be just as dynamic, just as skillful, and just as capable of delivering the same explosive action that men's boxing is known for. With each year, new fighters emerge who continue to push the boundaries of what is possible in women's boxing. Eva Wallström, for example, is a Finnish fighter whose speed and sharp punching have made her one to watch in the world of women's boxing. Her ability to mix it up with different types of knockouts, from well-placed body shots to devastating uppercuts, makes her a dangerous opponent in any weight class. Her thrilling knockout of Jessica Gonzalez in 2017 was a moment that left boxing fans stunned, showcasing Wallström's power and her unrelenting desire to finish fights. Boxing fans and analysts alike have often marveled at how the women's side of the sport has progressed over the years. What once was seen as a niche aspect of the sport has now become a powerhouse of entertainment, with talented fighters able to generate the same level of excitement, anticipation, and awe as male boxers. Knockouts in women's boxing are no longer rare, but are becoming an increasingly common feature of big-ticket fights. Each knockout punch is a statement, reminding the world that female boxers are athletes of incredible power and skill. The KO Queen title is reserved for those who not only knock out their opponents, but do so in a way that garners respect and admiration from the boxing community. It's about consistency, it's about devastating power, and it's about the psychological edge that a knockout artist brings to the ring. For all of the women who have earned this title, whether through brutal one-punch finishes or through relentless pressure and technique, they will go down in history as the individuals who changed the face of boxing and elevated the sport to a new level of competitiveness and excitement. As the future of women's boxing continues to unfold, the world can expect more fighters to rise to the occasion, delivering knockouts that continue to shape the sport's narrative. Each knockout adds another chapter to the legacy of women's boxing, and each fighter who delivers them will forever be remembered for their role in establishing the sport as one of the most thrilling spectacles in combat sports today.